Reinforcements have arrived.
What up, YouTubes? Here we are back at it. GDI Mission 11, Corinth, Greece. Arguably the most difficult mission up to this point. Far more difficult than Mission 10, far more difficult Mission 9. So, if you want to say Mission 6 is most difficult, you're probably crazy and don't do it right. Because this one is difficult here at the beginning. We're going to start here on this beachhead in Greece with an MCV. Freaking blocky, not attractive MCV. Some grenadiers. And you're going to be hunted down by a light tank and some other various units around the area. They're going to send some infantry around at you. There's also a flame tank to your very left in the left corner of the map, and 3 NOD turrets that are going to welcome you as well. So, not a very welcoming group here in Greece. You want it to be a leisurely time. You want to enjoy the sights, the history, but you're not going to get a chance to do that. So immediately, I say immediately, start getting sandbags up. You're going to put down your conyard right over here, go north, don't go east, You're not going to have enough time to get your sandbags down. I don't care what people say. If you want to do the sandbag barrier, you got to do it this way. See, this is the little bottleneck right there. This is literally all that they've given you to get to the NOD and vice versa. Surprising that the designers would do this. Makes this game, this mission, really pretty easy once you get to this point. Once you get here and you block it off, they're not going to have a chance to get to you. I stupidly created this a little close to my conyard, so probably some artillery and some rocket soldiers will be able to hit my conyard from behind the sandbag barrier, so I'm going to have to make another little barrier to help protect myself. And you see right there is a NOD turret. That's going to shoot at your harvesters. Make sure you're careful with them. Instead, send your harvesters to the east. Send them to the east if you get the chance to. And scout out where the Tiberium is. There might be some NOD infantry hanging around. There is some to the north. Yep, there's over by this bridge over here. Just one small bridge. It's not like a mission. I can't remember what mission it is now. But we're gonna have a flame tank. See, it's freaking scorching that tree right there. Cool animation though. Alright, so as I predicted, rocket soldiers, I'm going to need to get a guard tower up or something like that. Don't really have anything that's too effective against rocket soldiers at this point. Some minigunners are pretty good against rocket soldiers. Unfortunately, they can't fire through sandbags. And I'm low on power, so things are not going well right now. And dang flamethrowers. And miraculously, they like to stop shooting. You do realize that if you kept going, you probably would have depleted my funds and destroyed my conyard and caused me to lose. And then Cain would reign. And imagine if you were a rocket soldier and you got promoted by Cain.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Cannot deploy here.
I don't know about this mad lag that I'm getting in this game right now.
Building.
So excuse that. I realize I don't know why this is lagging like crazy.
Construction complete.
Tiberian Dawn just does not like to record on anything. Quite frankly, anything at all.
Building.
Like a full
Construction complete.
2 seconds behind, maybe. Jeez.
Construction complete.
Jeez.
Building.
You can definitely tell it when I'm clicking these sandbags.
Construction complete.
Putting them down. That is. It's like waiting for it to respond, and it is freaking not. Alright. Hunt them down.
Building.
Not. Harvester ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
Building.
Plop down some helipads, get some orcas going. Just like the last mission, you need some orcas in order to take out the NOD turrets that are around.
Reporting.
No funds are no fun. No funds are no fun. Alright, so basically going back to restating the briefing now that things have slowed down a little bit. You're supposed to meet up with Agent Delphi. Agent Delphi is some secret agent. You never actually get to meet him in the cutscenes or anything. They don't have an actor for it. Probably a pretty low budget, honestly, to work with. I didn't really have that high of a budget in Red Alert 1. It's the first time I was like in maybe Tiberian Sun, I would say. They had a decent video or actor budget. Wonder what the actors thought of these games. They thought they were really freaking nerdy or what. And that lag is pissing me off. Alright.
Yes, sir.
Put him down there. That's the thing. Command & Conquer, that first decade is nice. It has all the games, but as you just get further and further away from their production, obviously you get less and less likely that your computers are going to be compatible with this type of game. Some people are smart enough where they know how to work around those things. I'm just not techie enough. I'm not suave enough with the computers to be able to do that. That's one of the things that makes it hard for me to compete against some of the other guys in the YouTubing game. I just don't have the background as much. I'm trying to teach myself all this stuff, and it's helpful in some regards, but it's not like I'm using Final Cut or really Photoshop that much. It's things that are actually used in the professional world, which is one of the benefits that you could say of you doing these videos, is you tailor yourself to a different type of audience, and also an audience that reflects the audiences that a lot of media try to appeal to nowadays, and especially because that's my career field. They kind of go hand in hand, but we'll see. Alright. So hopefully you're bearing that lag a little bit. I don't know if I can fix that or deal with it in any way. But yeah, just less and less compatible. It's less likely that you're going to be able to handle some of these games, and once I get closer to generals, obviously I can pull out Fraps, and Fraps is just a lot more agreeable. It's kind of made for gaming recording. I'm using Camtasia or Snagit, and they're more business related, recording PowerPoints, recording tutorials to get through Microsoft Word and things like that. But at this point the strategy is kind of removed, obviously. Keep pumping away, getting your
Yes, sir.
Your harvesters going. You're going to want to get another refinery up too. There is more Tiberium to be had, but you can really only access it conveniently if you get a sandbag barrier down. I like to put a refinery down. This is what I'm doing right now. Get a refinery down there to the southeast corner of the map, which is a really great feature about this game, is the ability to build off of sandbag barriers. Unlike
Construction complete. Building. Construction
putting down other structures and Red Alert 2 just in random freaking locations. Can't do it. So that enables it to happen. But get the second Tiberian or the harvester going. There's no harvesting to be had to the north. Across that bridge, it's kind of just a cliff. It's viewing a cliff that leads up to Agent Delphi. But unfortunately, you can't just go and meet him. You're going to have to essentially destroy all the units on the map. So sorry, you can't just go bum rush and play Red Alert 2 style game and complete it.
Construction complete. Building.
Alright, nearly got it all down there.
Building. Construction
and then we'll plop that Tiberium refinery, start selling these sandbags, and getting more orcas up. You freaking can't do much until you get that third orca going either, so it's kind of a slow moving pace to this game. But you can realize right now, if you don't have those sandbags up, those guys are just going to overtake you, because you're not going to be able to economically support yourself yet. Hey, I sound like a freaking dad right there. Lesson on life: don't get yourself in a bind before you can economically support yourself, son. Realize what I'm saying? Alright, so we're gonna shoot you down. Wow, I was noticeably bad lag. Alright, so I almost am tempted to skip ahead, honestly. Don't want you guys to have to bear to see this still. Really not much strategy left until the very end. Some houses down there. There are no money crates. No money crates.
Yes, sir.
But just to the south of you, there's a Tiberium tree, so that Tiberium will continue to reboot, reload, keep pumping out Tiberium for you. really impressive what they did. I think Frank Klepacki was still the director for Tiberian Dawn. Frank Klepacki, the director, Red Alert 2, Hell March 2, really recognizable, great video game composer for music. I believe also directed these songs in Tiberian Dawn, if I'm not mistaken. In Hell March 1, Hell March 3 is just electronic mix with heavy metal guitar. It's just totally great. I'm still partial to Hell March 2. I have it on my iPod, along with a lot of other video game music. Make me sound like a nerd. Someone overhears my music, they'd be like, "What are you listening to?" I'm trying to work out at the gym next to this dude listening to, I don't know, Hyrule theme or Pokemon Stadium theme song. I mean, that stuff gets me amped, man. Thinking about Charizard going all seismic toss on Magmar and chucking him around the earth and down. Sight to be held. Sight to be held. Get out the way! Get out the way, minigunner. Or story of my life. Low power, low energy, low everything, low funds, low testosterone. On that pills. Get me on them pills. Almost ready for a third orca to be unleashed. Saw about 60 orcas when I was in Seattle. Went out on a boat one day to go observe them. Didn't really see any breach, but I saw them, or jump out of the water, whatever you want to call it. I did see them. Did see many. Next day, paid nothing. Instead, just watched off the coast for free, I manage you. And we saw like 15 whales jump out of the water. They must have had a freaking feeding frenzy that day, because apparently, when they capture or when they eat something, that means that they are celebrating and jumping out of the water. So, some machismo right there. Being a little arrogant. Kind of interesting, thinking of animals doing that, or mammals doing that. I mean, besides humans, I mean, you just don't have that concept or that understanding that they would in your mind.
Construction complete.
Alright, so slowly making headway going forward. That second Tiberian refinery is going to do us wonders. Get one helipad for each orca. Churn through the recovery process very quick, even quicker than you see in Red Alert 2, I would say. Could probably even keep them out a little bit longer and fire it. Probably not, with only 4, considering you need 3 to take on a turret.
Construction complete.
No, yes sir, yes sir.
Blow you up.
Affirmative.
That lag is getting worse and worse. Alright.
Yes, sir.
Make sure they do not freaking play traffic jam over there on the river. They'll get stuck on the river in the mud. You're gonna have to drudge them out with the old tow truck. You're gonna have to pay extra for that. Believe me, I've been there. The first time I ever put my foot on a pedal, I had to get a tow truck. I backed it out of my driveway. Too fast, I may add you. Too fast. And next thing you know, the car's stuck in the mud, and got a tow truck pull me out of the mud across the street. How embarrassing is that? When your dad come home and you realize your son can't freaking drive the car farther than 20 feet out of the driveway. Mom was with me, a little bit more compassionate for my displeasure for myself. How do I freaking need silos?
Construction complete.
Looks like I'm, and you can block off their source of Tiberium too. Just be a total savage with it.
Building. Construction complete. Building.
Construction complete. But yeah, make sure those those harvesters aren't running into each other. You saw in the 9th mission, that was definitely the case for us.
Construction complete.
Blocking it off. I can't obviously see where I'm putting them down, but if they obviously get put down, then you know that you've done your job.
Building. Construction
Actually
complete.
have decent orcas. One of the issues right here So you're not going to be able to really explore yet, because you've not only blocked them in, but you've blocked yourself out from exploring. And if you haven't explored, you're not going to be able to use your orcas. You can't use your orcas. You pretty much can't complete this mission because your APCs, if you try to engineer bum rush, and those are really honestly like the only two methods to complete this game. I cannot imagine playing a War of Attrition in the original Tiberian Dawn game. The funds that you would need to do that, especially with the defenses that NOD has and the Obelisk of NOD, you're trying to go in there with medium tanks unless you're some supreme tactician, considering they've got flame tanks that will just burn your infantry. There's not even a point. Flame tanks that take out your rocket launchers as it is. Good luck. So the orcas really make this happen for GDI. Engineer bum rush and the APC as well. Obviously you don't get the APC as NOD.
Construction complete.
This is a really big feature for GDI, and one of the few, I guess, direct correlations between a unit in Tiberian Dawn and that of Red Alert 1. I'll put that down.
Construction complete.
And weapons factory. Where I put this weapons factory, you're going to put that over where the sandbags are on the far west. You might as well sell that guard tower at this point and be able to produce a Humvee, send that Humvee just to the north a little bit, scout it out. Once you get enough of that base, you get a brief idea. You can maybe even sandbag that off. There's no real point at this point though, and sandbag all the way into their base and just be a total dick and just build buildings in the middle of their base. It's another weird thing about the sandbag barrier trick. But eventually you'll be able to make real headway when you're able to explore the northeast corner of the map near Agent Delphi. You can start slowly making progress with orcas. You can land them and then they can see ahead of you, but they have to be on ground in order for them to see any of the map and to reveal any of the map. So briefly get that sold, build another sandbag barrier. Don't worry about it quite yet. That's going to try to zap you. It looked like it got a little bit of a hit. And just a small brief look at their base. So see, we got that obelisk out there. They got some SAM sites. Quite a few SAM sites on this map, and they got units out the wazoo right now. They're just being total idiots, not responding to that weapons factor right there because they're totally dumbfounded by our sandbags once again. And that is that's a job well done. Looks like they just got one obelisk. Job well done by that Humvee. But you want to explore that area now, so you can send your orcas up, get some infantry actually produced, do a little job there, do a little work. You got it. You got it. So get that explored a little bit more. Set those orcas in, you can drop them right on the edge of that bluff, and then slowly but surely work your way up north. You're going to have to have them fly, then drop, fly, then drop. And you'll slowly get into range of a SAM site, so don't expect to get out unscathed by it. As you can see right there, you're going to have to take out that SAM site right away. I don't believe they rebuild it. Especially if we cut off their funds considerably, which reminds me I'm going to have to do. Forgot to do that. And we're getting close to Delphi. Next mission, I believe funds carry over. I would like to tell you definitively that they do. But actually I think they might not, considering it's more of not a recon mission, but it's not a conventional mission. You don't have a con yard. If you don't have a con yard, I guess I would say it's an unconventional approach to a mission. You're having to get Mobius escorted by taking out all the SAM sites in the area, so a helicopter can come in and scoop him up. So I think to make it more realistic, if you had like $15,000 saved up or funds saved up, the mission would be a joke. So they give you $5,000. I think that's the baseline. So I wouldn't, unless you're trying to go for some score, I wouldn't really worry about having funds be at a certain level, or just stockpiling funds essentially is what it is. But you can see right here, you can start making a little bit of headway, exploring with your orcas. I would go as east as possible to start, just to get yourself a little bit of an idea of what you're working with. Plop them down, pick them up, set them down, pick them up, set them down, pick them up, set them down.
Moving out, moving out, moving out. Affirmative. Moving out.
And it looks like we lost that sucker. Alright, so Samsite is being a little pesky jerk.
Lost.
Being a jerk about it.
Building. Building. Construction
Start flying
complete.
your orcas now.
Unit reporting.
Ignovig. Reminds me of Kirov's warped orca voice right there. I guess the voice acting, obviously, they don't have. It's not uniquely NOD or GDI, which is freaking great. I didn't realize how sick that was until you got. I guess Brotherhood 1 had voice acting that varied amongst units. But at least I have job. At your order. My command is your wish. I mean, freaking great. Red Alert 2, you've mastered it. I go back to that game all the time, and no games resonated with me more. Already got a boner for it. Alright? Chill. Okay? Chill. Wanna know what my top 10 games are?
Construction complete.
Ask me some time. Probably Age of Empires 2 second. Then third. What are you doing? Alright, so you can take out that con yard, the far northernmost building that they have, far northern easterly building. That way, if you're taking out SAM sites, you're not wasting your time. I wouldn't really worry about capturing that con yard. They're pretty passive at this point. So you will want to do an engineer rush at some point to some extent, and if you have the funds, you can start healing up your orcas. But it looks like we're running low on Tiberium as it is out here. So I just like to keep building expensive aircraft. GDI is like, what is this kid doing? All he's building is these expensive aircraft that we gotta fly in everywhere. It's one of the weird things that they actually have to fly the units in. So if you fly over a number of SAM sites, like, you're gonna lose a unit you just bought and you didn't even get to use. It's kind of a weird glitch. I kind of don't like it. It kind of defies what you would know about RTS, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I have to open my mind a little, or just be more open-minded about it than I am. But it's just my take on things, my impression of as to what it should be. Obviously, the airstrip cargo planes can't get shot down, which I wish they could, but there's really no anti-aircraft unit that GDI has other than the rocket soldier, which I suppose you need if you're going to have the Apache helicopter. You need something, or else if you got a Apache helicopter, you would just be able to float around the air and not have to worry about anything whatsoever, as the rocket launcher vehicle is not able to take out aircraft.
Unit lost.
Plop you down.
Unit lost.
Send them up there at that SAM site.
Yes, sir. Unit reporting.
Sayonara. Pretty soon you're getting them airstrikes going. You can burn some of their units, maybe take out a couple of their buildings. Looks like we can take out a silo. Probably one of the buildings they didn't want to take out. Ideally you want to take out the Hand of NOD, but I don't believe that just a two-plane airstrike could take out the Hand of NOD, unless you strategically drop that napalm, which I'm just not very good at. But we're going to probably want to cut this in a couple seconds. We'll be finishing up this mission 11, in part 2 of this segment. So, you're looking to finish up Corinth, get Delphi, check in next time.
Battle control terminated.